Hello and thanks for choosing to flow with me. I'm going to take you through a late summer Vinyasa flow. It's going to involve working on the meridian lines of the organs of the season, which are the stomach and the spleen. So the inner thighs and the outer thighs and through the front of the body. So we're going to begin lying on the mats, feet hip distance apart, grounding into the earth. Take your hands either side of the hips and keep your heels close in towards the sit bones. And just taking a moment to arrive at your mats. And one of the focuses of late summer is creating a sense of grounding, a sense of rooting, preparing you for the colder months ahead. So I want your focus of this class to be your foundation, just connecting into the earth. And while you're lying here, turn your attention to every part of the body that's connecting to the earth. Feeling your feet grounding into the mat. Feel the hands connecting to the mat. In the back of the torso. In the back of the head. And turn your attention to the breath. Noticing the gentle rising and falling of the chest. Sealing off your lips. So create a slow, steady rhythm of breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And taking a big inhale, you're going to rise the hips up towards the ceiling, coming into a gentle bridge. And then as you exhale, bone by bone, lower the back down towards the mat. Tailbone comes down last. Inhaling, pressing into the feet again, roll through the spine. Hips rise up towards the ceiling. Straight line from shoulders to heel. And then exhale to slowly lower the back down towards the mat. And again, inhaling, rising hips up. Thighs become engaged. So press your right foot up towards the ceiling. Foot flexed. Toes are pointing down towards your face. Heel is drawing up towards the ceiling. Engaging both of your thighs. Especially working into the left hamstring. Continuing to press firmly into your left foot to keep the hips lifted. Then as you exhale, slowly lower the hips down. Release the right leg all the way onto the mat, keeping the leg straight. As you breathe in, peel the back off the mat, crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Place your hands down onto the mat, fingertips facing forward. Coming into a one leg reverse plank, so you're going to press into the feet, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Chin tucked in towards the chest, pointing the right toes away. Engaging through your quadriceps, soften through the shoulders. And just take another breath here, lifting the hips slightly higher if you can. And then exhale to lower the hips back down towards the mat. Roll the left knee over towards the side, coming into Janu Sirsasana 8. Rise fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you fold from the hips. Hands come down towards the leg. Draw the nose towards the knee. And just taking a couple of breaths here. With every inhale, create more space through the body. With every exhale, sinking a little bit further down as you begin to lengthen through the hamstring. And then release the hands, uncurl the spine. Place the sole of the left foot down onto the mat, followed by the sole of the right foot. Lengthen fingertips forward. And as you exhale, slowly lower the back down towards the mats. When it reaches the mats, drop the head down, take the hands either side of the hips. Take the shins to tabletop. And you're going to take the right thigh on top of the left thigh, maybe crossing your calves there. So coming into Garudasana legs, fingertips reach up towards the sky, and then take the right arm on top of the left arm. Tops of the hands might come together, or the palms of the hands might come all the way together as you wrap your forearms around one another. Now as you exhale, you're going to take arms overhead, bring fingertips and toes towards the mat. And as you inhale, peel the shoulders, peel the sit bones off the mat. As you bring the elbows and thighs together. Exhaling, slowly lowering down, fingertips and toes reach the mat. And then inhale as you lift back up, engaging through the core. Exhale, begin to lower down. And then inhaling to lift back up, elbows and thighs connect. Maybe take one more inhale to lift the shoulders slightly higher, and lift the sit bones slightly higher. And then as you exhale, release back down, unravel the arms, unravel the legs. Come back to sit up for bridge posture. So again, pressing into the feet with your hip distance apart, rise the hips up towards the ceiling. Plug into the right foot now. Send the left foot up towards the ceiling. And really firming up through your quadriceps. Strengthening through the hamstring. Keeping your hips level. Keeping the chin tucked in towards the chest. Pressing firmly into your palms. Into the upper arms and the forearms. One more inhale, lifting the hips higher. And then exhale, lower the hips back down. And then lower the left leg all the way down, keeping the legs straight. Inhale, peel the back off the mat. Place the hands down. One leg reverse plank, so press into the right foot. Point the left toes away. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Soften through the shoulders. Open through the collarbones. Chin tucked in towards the chest as you lengthen through the back of the neck. Take one more breath in, lift your hips higher. And then exhale as you roll the sit bones down towards the mats. Roll the right knee over towards the sides. Insole side of the foot comes to the inner thigh. Inhale, the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, Janusashasana E. Take the nose towards the knee. And just rest your hands wherever feels comfortable. Working with your own flexibility. And just working on creating more length through the back of the leg, through the side of the torso, and through the inside of the thigh. Take one more inhale. And exhale. And release the hands, uncurl the spine. Sole of the right foot gets placed down onto the mat, followed by the sole of the left foot. Reach fingertips forwards. And then exhale to slowly lower the back down, controlling through the core. Shoulders come down, and then head rest down onto the mat. Now take the shins so they're parallel with the mat again. This time you're taking the left thigh on top of the right thigh, maybe crossing the calves, and then fingertips reach up towards the sky. Top of the left arm comes on top of the right arm, so your elbows are almost connecting here. Reach fingertips up towards the ceiling and either taking the tops of the hands together or wrapping the forearms all the way around so the palms come together. Now as you exhale, take arms overhead so the fingertips come towards the mat at the same time as the toes do. And then inhaling, peeling the shoulders off, connecting the elbows towards the thigh. Exhale, slowly lower down. And then inhaling to lift up. Exhale to lower. And then inhale to lift. So staying here for an extra breath, feeling the lower parts of your core really having to switch on. Lifting the shoulders higher, lifting the tailbone higher. And then exhaling to release, unravel the arms, unravel the legs. Take the knees in towards the chest. Hands come to the backs of the thighs. And just do a couple of roll throughs through the spine. Coming onto your sit bones every time, then rolling back. Creating a real curve through the spine so you're getting into the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back. Now as you next come up, you're going to balance here on your sit bones. Shins are parallel with the mat. Crown of the head is reaching up towards the ceiling. Maybe taking your hands forward, engaging through the core. One more breath in. And then cross the feet, hands down on the mat, step back into plank. Exhale, lower the chest all the way down onto the mat. Hands below the shoulders, elbows tuck in towards the chest, coming into a gentle cobra. So press into the hands, lift the chest off the mat. Soften through the shoulders. Allow the hips to become heavy. And then as you exhale, release the chest down. Press into the hands and knees, bring big toes together, make your way into Balasana, child's pose. One inhale here, and an exhale. And then on your next inhale, make your way into all fours, shoulders stack above the ribs. Toes tuck under, straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, sink the heels down towards the mat. Now inhale, rise the right foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Draw the knee in towards the chest, shoulders above the ribs. Step the foot through between the hands. Take the left hand slightly wider. We're going to come into revolve Skandasana. So we're going to come onto the outer edges of both feet. Drop the left side of the hips down towards the mat. Right knee faces towards the longer end of the mat. Take the right hand behind and gaze towards that hand. So the back leg is straight, the front knee is bent. And then as you inhale, press into the left hand, take the arm overhead as you lift the hips. Now exhale, drop the hips, take the hand behind. Inhale, lifting the hips high. Arm comes overhead, bicep comes towards the ear. Exhale, dropping here. Inhale, lifting up, then take the right hand to the inside of the foot, coming into Skandasana. So coming onto the left heel, bend into the right knee. Elbows to the inside of the thigh, palms together, lift through the chest. Taking a moment here to open through the hip, stretching through the inner thigh. And then as you exhale, framing the front foot as you swivel on both feet. Step back into plank. Exhale, lower your chest all the way down towards the mat. Hands come below the shoulders, elbows tuck in, inhaling to cobra. Lengthen through the front body. Exhale, lower the chest down. Press into the hands and knees, big toes come together, exhaling into Balasana, child's pose. And then as you inhale, come to sit back on your heels. Lift the hips up. Tuck the toes under so your hips are directly above the knees. We're going to take our arms to shoulder height here. Swivel over towards the right side. Right hand onto the heel. Left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Draw your hips forward. Gaze towards the right hand. Inhaling, lifting the arms to shoulder height. Swivel the torso round to the centre. Swivel over to the left now. Left hand, left heel. Right hand up towards the ceiling. Draw your hips forward. Arm comes overhead. Inhaling, lifting the arms back to shoulder height. Swivel the torso round to the centre. Place the hands down onto the mat. Release through the spine with one cat-cow, so drop the belly down. Gaze comes up towards the ceiling, as does the tailbone. Exhale, press into the hands, arch through the back, protract through your shoulder blades. Squeeze those shoulder blades together into cat. Come into a flat back. Toes tuck under, straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift, it comes up towards the sky. Knee comes in towards the chest. Step the foot through between the hands. Take the right hand slightly wider. Revolve Skandasana, outer edges of both feet. Drop the right side of the hips towards the mat. Left hand comes behind. Lift the hips, bicep comes towards the ear, fingertips reach forward. Exhale, drop the hips, hand comes behind. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, bicep comes towards the ear, hips lift. Then take the left hand to the inside of the foot, come onto the right heel, Skandasana. So elbow to the inside of the left knee, palms together. Lift through the chest, draw the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Exhale to release the hands either side of the front foot, swivel on both feet. And just step forward to come to the front of the mat. Exhale, Uttanasana, feet together. Inhale, begin to uncurl the spine. Rise up to standing. Arms overhead, bring palms together. Take the thumbs to heart center. Shift all of your weight into the left foot. Take the right thigh parallel with the mat. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling, tailbone tucks down. Begin to bend into the left knee, send the right ankle to the top of the left thigh and sink down into standing pigeon. So drawing the right knee towards the mat, grounding down into your standing foot. Taking one more exhale, maybe sinking a little bit further. And then as you inhale, straighten the left leg, take the right thigh parallel with the mat. And take one big step towards the back of the mat, make your way into goddess pose. Feet 10 to 2. And just taking your hands in front of the chest. Now making sure your heels are about a leg distance apart. Your knees are facing in the same direction as the toes, so really working in to the abductors, engaging through your abductors as you peel the knees open. Maybe coming onto the balls of the feet. Still finding your balance, finding your stability while still sinking down. Engaging with your breath. Now release the heels down onto the mat, straighten the legs, hands come up towards the ceiling. Exhale, coming into warrior two, so left toes facing forward. Back foot's angled in, sink down into the front knee. Front knee directly above the ankle. Back thigh engaged. Soften through your shoulders. And really focusing on your foundation. Try not to grip on with your left toes. Then you're going to breathe in, straighten the front leg, hands come up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend back down into the front knee. Inhaling, lifting your hands up, palms come together, leg straightens. Exhale, back into warrior two. Inhale, arms come overhead. Legs straighten. Exhale, bend into the knee. Slide the right hand down the leg. Reach the left hand up towards the ceiling. Shanti Virabhadrasana, peaceful warrior. Still creating a bend through the front knee, activating through the back leg. And then inhale to take the arms to shoulder heights. Left elbow, left thigh. Right arm overhead. Extended side angle. Keeping the torso facing towards the longer end of the mats. Inhale back into your warrior two. And then straighten the front leg. Preparing for a Tita Trikonasana, so reach away with the left hands. Release the hand onto the leg. Right hand comes up towards the ceiling, opening through the chest. Soften through the left shoulder. Peel the torso back. And then take the right arm overhead, so bicep comes towards the ear. Staying here, we're offering the left hand forward too. Really noticing how you have to use your foundation here now, plugging into your feet. Again, try not to grip on with your toes, using all four corners of both feet. Release the left hand onto the leg, keeping the right bicep towards the ear, then begin to bend into the left knee. Hand comes to the inside of the foot. Swivel the bottom side of the rib cage forward, the top side of the rib cage back. Activate through the top arm. Straight line from the fingertips to the outside of the foot. Exhale to release the right hand down onto the mat, swivel on the ball of the back foot. Left hand comes up towards the ceiling, twisted runner's lunge. Activate through the back leg as you draw the heel away from you. Exhale, release the left hand to the outside of the foot. Step back into plank. Drop down onto the knees or keep the knees off the mat. Lower into Chaturanga Dandasana, half plank. Tops of the arms are parallel with the mat. Hold it here for a breath in. And a breath out. On your next breath in, kind of coming into upward facing dog. Pressing into the hands, lifting through the chest, softening through the shoulders. And then exhale, make your way into downward facing dog. Maybe stepping the feet forward slightly to be able to sink your heels towards the mats. Pressing firmly into the hands and avoiding dropping through the shoulders, so keeping the shoulders really active. Then as you breathe in, send the right foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Shoulders come above the wrists. Take the knee towards the right elbow. Down to the right wrist, over to the left wrist, to the left elbow, to the chest. Step the foot through between the hands. Sitting up for warrior one, so place the back foot down onto the mat at the 45-degree angle. Begin to bend into the front knee, lift fingertips up towards the ceiling, straightening the back leg. Hips facing towards the shorter end of the mat. Arms are nice and active. Front thigh parallel with the mat. Lifting through the chest, maybe peeling the biceps slightly further back. Take the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers, expand through the chest. Right shoulder comes to the inside of the right knee. Arms come overhead. Try to peel your right side of the hip back. Taking your left side of the hip forward. Hips are nice and square. And again, trying to avoid gripping on with your toes. So rooting down into your feet. Finding the stability, strengthening through the ankles. Exhale to release the hands either side of the front foot. Begin to straighten the front leg. Again, right hip comes back, left hip comes forward. Inhale to create more length through the back of the body. And then exhale, sinking down into that space. Still pressing into the knife edge of the back foot. Lifting up into the arch. And if your hands don't reach the mat, just place them around the calf. Around the thigh. And then you're going to bend into the front knee, swivel on the ball of the back foot, and lift the torso so that it's parallel with the mat. Take fingertips behind. Reach crown of the head up towards forward. And just taking a moment here. Activate through the back of the leg. Keep the torso lifted as you engage through the core. And then reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Taking a moment here to find your stability. And then take the right arm on top of the left arm. Fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Tops of the hands come together, or forearms will wrap all the way around so the palms come together. Holding this here for a moment. Lifting the elbows slightly higher. Opening through the shoulders, through the upper back. Now shift all of the weight into the right foot. You're going to float forward and take the left thigh parallel with the mat. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Either coming into modified Garudasana or full Garudasana eagle pose. So either left foot to the outside of the right foot, or you're going to wrap the leg all the way around and sink down into the knee. So here we're thinking about hugging in your thigh bones in towards the center line. Feeling yourself rooting through the right foot. Feeling the forearms wrapping in towards one another. Maybe sinking a little bit further down. Using your thumbs as your drishti point, your point of gaze. And then as you breathe in, you're going to take the left thigh parallel with the mat. Unravel the arms, keeping that thigh parallel, hands come up towards the ceiling. And then thumbs come together in front of the chest. So again, coming in to your standing pigeon on the other side, so bending into the right knee. Left foot is flexed. Lift through the chest, sinking a little bit further down. Engage through your core. Feeling yourself rooting into the earth with the right foot. And then take the left thigh so that it's parallel with the mat. Take one giant step towards the back of the mat, coming into goddess pose. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling, and maybe sinking a little bit further into the knees. Maybe this time you want to peel the heels off the mat. Maybe sinking a little bit further. And imagining there's a headlight on your tailbone, making sure that headlight is facing directly underneath you. Imagining a wall behind your back, leaning against that wall. Now release the heels down, straighten the legs, hands come up towards the ceiling. Exhale, warrior two. Bend into the front knee, straighten the back leg. Right toes are facing forward, back foot slightly angled in. And then as you breathe in, straighten the right leg. Hands come up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend into the knee. Arms come to shoulder height. Inhale, straighten the legs, hands come up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Shanti Virabhadrasana, left hand down the leg. Right hand up towards the ceiling. Front knee still directly above the ankle. Stretching through the side of the torso. Inhale, arms come back to shoulder height. Left elbow, right thigh. Left arm overhead. Gazing towards the toes. Bending through the front knee. Pressing into the knife edge of the back foot. Inhale, coming into your warrior two, then straightening the front leg. Hinge forward with the right hand. Release the hand down the leg, reach the left hand up towards the ceiling. Opening through the chest. Maybe taking your arm overhead, bicep comes towards the ear. Maybe offering both hands forward as you deepen through the intensity. Still continuing to breathe and still continue to focus on your foundation. And release the right hand onto the leg, begin to bend into the right knee. Take the hand to the inside of the foot. Knee comes directly above the ankle. Still pressing into the knife edge of the back foot, lifting up into the arch. Opening through the chest, peeling the top side of the ribcage back. Exhale, release the left hand down onto the mat. Swivel on the ball of the back foot. Right hand comes up towards the ceiling, twisted runner's lunge. Activate through the back leg, creating a buoyancy through the hips. Exhale, release the hand to the outside of the foot. Step back into plank. Drop down onto the knees or keep the knees off the mat. Chaturanga Dandasana, half plank. Tops of the arms parallel with the mat. Hugging in towards the ribcage. Inhaling upward facing dog. So the only thing that's connecting with the mat here is your hands and your feet. Lift the gaze high. Exhale, downward dog. Maybe stepping the feet slightly further forward. And as we're focusing on our foundation, just checking your hands for a moment. Make sure your fingers are really widely spread and your whole hand is down onto the earth. And then as you breathe in, left foot comes all the way up towards the ceiling. Knee comes towards the left elbow, shoulders above the wrist. Take it towards the left wrist, the right wrist. Scoop it up to the right knee, to the center. Step the foot through between the hands. Drop the back foot down onto the mat, angling it in. Preparing for warrior one. So begin to bend into the front knee, take it above the ankle, Lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Hips square. Taking a couple of breaths here. Really activating through the back leg. Peeling up into the thigh. Lifting up through the kneecap. Still keeping those hips so they're facing forwards. Biceps come back. Hands come behind now. Interlace fingers expand through the chest. Take the shoulders to the inside of the knee. Arms release overhead, keeping those fingers interlaced. Humble warrior. So keeping that back leg active. Keep engaging through the thigh. Front knee still stays above the ankle. Rooting down into the feet. Connecting to the earth. And exhale to release the hands either side of the front foot. Begin to straighten the leg. Keep your hips square. Left hip comes back, right hip comes forward. Surrender the chest towards the thigh. Taking a couple of breaths here. Create length, create space through the back of the left leg. Swivel on the ball of the back foot. Bend down into the front knee. Take the torso parallel with the mat, extend the fingertips behind. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Taking a couple of breaths here. Feeling the strength through your legs. Maybe shaking a little bit, just means your legs are working. Continuing to activate through the back leg. One more breath in. Reach fingertips up towards the ceiling. Still activating through the back leg. Still sinking down into the front knee. This time top of the left arm and top of the right arm. Fingertips up towards the ceiling. Tops of the hands come together or forearms wrap all the way around. Lift the fingertips up. All of the weight shifts in towards the left foot. Floating the right thigh so that it's now parallel with the mats. Flex the foot. And then either placing the foot to the outside of the outer foot or wrapping the leg all the way around. Sinking down into your knees. Garudasana Eagle Pose. Again, turning your gaze towards your thumbs. Lifting the elbows slightly higher. Opening through the shoulders. Through the upper back. But still softening through the shoulders at the same time. Thigh bones are hugging in towards each other. Really switching on your abductors. One more breath in. And out. Unravel the legs, unravel the arms. Hands come up towards the ceiling. Exhale to fold forwards, coming into Uttanasana. Take one breath in to create more length through the back body. Exhale to sink down. And just release through the backs of the legs. Softening into one knee. And then the other. And then you're going to take your feet. So they're just wider than hip distance apart and angle your feet out. Begin to bend into the knees. Coming into Malasana, low yogic squats. Elbows to the insides of the thighs, palms together, lift through the chest. Soften through the shoulders. Tailbone points down towards the earth. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Maybe swaying from side to side. Opening through the hips. Just feeling this release here. And then take your hands behind and drop the hips. Now we're going to come into Upavista Konasana. So take the feet as wide as you can. Rolling the thigh bones back. Making sure the feet are flexed. So heels are drawing away, toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, engage through your thighs. And you're going to take an inhale to reach fingertips up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, come over towards the right side. So right hand comes in the direction of the foot, followed by the left hand. Ground your left sit bones down towards the earth. Gaze underneath the armpits. Open through the side body. Still engaging through the thighs, flexing through the feet. Now as you breathe in, take the left hand towards the base of the spine. Right hand comes towards the outside of the thigh. Twist round. Gazing over the shoulder. And release back to the center. Hands come up towards the ceiling. Reach over towards the other sides. Hand comes towards the foot, followed by the top hands. And gaze underneath the armpits. And root the sit bones down towards the earth. And rolling the thigh bones back. And then cartwheel the top hand to the base of the spine. Other hand comes to the outside of the opposite thigh, twisting rounds. Maintain length through the spine and openness through the chest. Crown of the head still reaching up towards the ceiling and thinking more so about wrapping your rib cage around your spine rather than just gazing behind. Come back to the center and then you're going to walk your hands forward. And again, keeping those thigh bones rolling back, keeping the feet flexed, maybe finding more space and just coming slightly further down. Just coming to wherever works for you and just taking a couple of breaths here. Feeling this real deep stretch through the inside of the hips, through the inner thighs. And just using your breath to settle into this posture. Every exhale gives you a little bit more space to sink into. Thinking about folding from the hips rather than just arching forward. And then walk the hands back. And you're going to come into Sukhasana with the right leg lifted. So maybe taking your feet slightly further apart as you come into this easy seated pose. Inhale, fingertips up, reach up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, walk the hands forward. Release the head towards the mat. And feel this real deep stretch through the outside of the hips. Either keeping the hands on the mat or tenting the fingertips, just whatever works for you. And just a couple of breaths here. Breathing into the outer hips. Settling further into it with every exhale. And then walk the hands back. And simply just cross in the opposite direction now, so this time left leg is leading. Walk the feet slightly farther away from each other. Reach fingertips up. And then exhale to fold. And release the head down. Again, either fingertips tenting or hands down, just whatever works best for you. And you can even just close your eyes, creating this sense of drawing in. Stretching through the back of the torso, as well as through the outside of the hips. And then walk the hands back. Place your hands on the knees, and then just sit up tall. Close your eyes. Crown of the head is up towards the ceiling. Soften through the shoulders. And just taking a moment here in the stillness. And just thanking your body for taking you through a short but effective flow. Thanking yourself for taking this time to come onto your mat and use this time for you. Now just lift the arms overhead, bring palms together. Take the thumbs to the crown of the head, between the eyebrows to the third eye, and then to the heart center. Bow your head. Om Shanti. And thank you all so much once again for choosing to practice with me. I hope you enjoyed that little flow, and I will see you for the next virtual class.